Friday, March 14. Further thought. Meditate on Ellen G. White's beautiful and encouraging assurance found in 9th Testimonies, page 286. All that has perplexed us in the providences of God will, in the world to come, be made plain. The things hard to be understood will then find explanation. The mysteries of grace will unfold before us. Where our finite minds discovered only confusion and broken promises, we shall see the most perfect and beautiful harmony. We shall know that infinite love ordered the experiences that seemed most trying. As we realize the tender care of Him who makes all things work together for our good, we shall rejoice with joy unspeakable and full of glory. Reflect on the following 5 discussion questions. Number 1. Have you been perplexed in trying to understand the providences of God? How does it comfort you to know that all such things will be made plain in the end? Question 2. Ponder what Christ gave up in order to become human and to die for this world. Further reflect on what this tells us about God's love and whether God can be trusted. What more could He do? Question 3. What is so important about God's name? What implications does this have for those of us who call ourselves Christian? In what ways have Christians sometimes brought disrepute on the name of Christ? And what can we do in our local communities to show people what following Christ really looks like in practice? Question 5. In the end, even our best answers relative to the problem of evil are incomplete for now. What can we do in practice to draw close to those who are suffering and be agents of relieving suffering in this world as we wait for the final eschatological solution to the problem of evil that only God can bring? And question 5. Dwell more on Isaiah 53 verse 4, on the fact that Christ bore our griefs and sorrows. What happened corporately at the cross that helps us understand the plan of redemption and what it cost God to save us?
For further reading, The Acts of the Apostles, God's Purposes for His Church, pages 14 to 16, and Lift Him Up, What More Could I Have Done, page 216.
The Persistent Mother, Part 3, by Andrew McChesney. Pediatrician Colette Reel hoped to bring the 13-year-old Alaskan native girl home before the Sabbath hours. She had told Matrona that she was a Seventh-day Adventist, but it seemed like a good idea to get settled at home in Anchorage before spending their first Sabbath together. Alaskan adoption authorities, however, had other ideas. They told Colette that she could take the girl on Sabbath. The day before the big move, Colette called Matrona at her facility in Anchorage. "I usually go to church on Sabbath," she said. "Would you like to go with me?" "No," Matrona said. When Matrona arrived the next morning, she announced that she wanted to watch television. "On Sabbaths in my house, we watch Christian-themed shows or nature videos," Colette replied. Matrona was surprised. She asked if she could watch an animated television show about wild animals instead. Colette and Matrona got to spend 2 months of quality time together in Anchorage before moving to Bethel, where Colette had a new job at a hospital. During that time, they developed routines and built their relationship. They had morning and evening worship, and Matrona grew spiritually. Today, Matrona is 15, and she loves living in Bethel, where she goes to homeschool, takes piano lessons, has many friends, and is actively involved in the life of Bethel Seventh-day Adventist Church. "God just orchestrated everything," said Colette, who, in addition to working as a pediatrician, serves as a Bible worker and co-leader of the church. The sassy Matrona whom I first met on the phone is very different from the Matrona now, she said. She is a leader for the kids at church and in the community. I see God working in her life and maturing her faith. Matrona expressed gratitude for Colette's persistent phone calls and now her persistent love as a mother. If she hadn't tried and tried to get through to me, I wouldn't know who God is, she said. She said God used Colette to change her life. How she found me was no coincidence, she said. I feel that God led her to me and God led me to her. God has brought me to a good place and given me peace. This mission story offers an inside look at Bethel, Alaska Seventh-day Adventist Church, which received part of a 2024 13th Sabbath offering. Thank you for helping spread the gospel with this quarter's 13th Sabbath offering on March 29.
And remember, God is always faithful.